we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado, this is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Raw.
Episode 298.
298.
Closing in, man. We're going to hit 300 here in a few weeks. So,
oh, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a celebration.
298, man.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 300.
Yep.
What a journey.
We're getting close. It's been like 6 years almost.
6.5 years.
Of content creation and showing up every week. And we've had a lot of entrepreneurs on here, and a lot of people have said, you know, that you're getting close to success when you want to quit. Like, you question what you're doing and you almost want to quit.
Yes.
Can you agree with that?
I definitely can agree with that, man. You know, I've been doing what I've been doing, where as far as, with my followers, my fans, and my soul family members, I've been doing this since 2021. That's when I made my first video.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you know when you are stepping into your calling, when things start to get rough. But the whole thing is, you got to just keep going, man. You got to keep going through it all, because the more rough it get, that's how you know you're on the brink of that blessing. That's how you know that you are stepping into a different phase of your life. It's got to get harder before things start to really get lighter.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And it's just very important I always tell my people, just don't quit. You know, keep going. You got to keep going through it all, man.
It's true. Don't quit. You got to find the grit. I went through that grit movement last year. I thought about walking away from this program. I was just overwhelmed. And I dug down deep and found that guts, resilience, initiative, and tenacity. And we've carried that into the new year, and it's been tremendous to just keep riding off that energy. So for our listeners and viewers that are tuning in, might not know your work, where's a good place to kind of start off here, introduce yourself to them? Where can they go to follow your work?
Well, you can go follow my work. I'm mainly on Instagram and Facebook, of course. My Instagram is ChosenStarC_Y Bizzle. That's ChosenStarC_Y Bizzle. You can also go on Facebook at ChosenStarCYB. And I just talk about, just being your best self, just changing your life for the better, because there come a time and place in your life where you just got to understand that the time is now to do something great. A lot of times we be holding back because of people that we're around, or because of where we're from, or, just little things that we used to struggle with. But we got to find that inner power to be great. We all have a purpose, so it's very important for you to be able to step into what you are created to be,
It's awesome. And I've been checking out your content ever since we linked up like 2-3 weeks ago. And I could tell it's authentic. You can tell when someone is being authentic or not. And you definitely give off those vibes. And then I like the urgency too of what you're speaking about, because like, it's so true, and it's all cliches, but we only got today once.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, there's no better time to start than right now.
Yes.
Like, if you want to do something. And the people that we were born around or grew up around, they were in our life circumstantially because of where we were. But when you actually start to like pursue yourself, you realize that a lot of these people weren't meant to be in your life.
Exactly.
And then you have to go through a period where you start letting go of relationships because they don't really like serve your destiny and like who you believe you're meant to be.
Exactly. I always say sometimes you don't know who you are until you step out of the picture. See, a lot of times we are so stuck in the picture, which is family, friends, lovers, even just your day-to-day job, that we don't get a chance to see who we truly are. We go off of what this person is doing or what they are saying instead of being like, who am I? So when you be able to step out of the picture, then you can see the whole picture. And I feel that's why I always tell my people it's very important to invest in yourself. And also it's very, very important for you to believe in yourself, because nobody's going to believe in you but you. Mm-hmm. You can have people out here that like what you do, but when it comes down to you being successful, when it comes down to you being loved or you going for your goals, you have to dig deep for yourself to want to be who you truly designed to be, man. And self-preservation is everything, bro. You got to believe in you before anybody else can believe in you. You have to love yourself before anybody else can love yourself. You got to want to do it for you for once.
And it's interesting because like there's like this moment where you realize that caring less about people's opinions is actually breaking the chains. because it's so easy to be like, oh, okay, like you're saying with your job or whatever, and you're trying to like fit into other people's versions of like who they think you should be.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you're actually being authentic, then you kind of like stop caring
Yeah,
what other people think.
definitely.
And that's like you have to approach that with delicacy, because obviously you still want to be a good human being. You
Of
still want to be
course.
like genuine and like try to look out after people and be a decent person, but you can't really care at the same time.
Yeah,
It's
of
like this
course.
duality.
Of course, man. It's all about you just wanting to do better for you. That's one thing I cannot stress. A lot of people got a perception of who they want you to be, but that's not who you are. People think they know you, but they have no idea who you truly are. They don't know what hurts you. They don't know what helps you. They don't know what's actually going to put you to be a better individual. But at the same time, they are quick to judge whenever you make a mistake or whenever you fall off or
Why is
backslide.
that? Why are people like always
Oh, yeah.
they're like so happy to see
Other people,
disruption?
yeah. It's unfortunate. It's like I talk a lot in this podcast about how people do more to avoid pain than they will to gain pleasure.
Yes, of
Typically,
course, man.
Complacent Boulevard is a big thing, and people like to stay there. And when you're on Complacent Boulevard, we had a guest. He worded it like this: people will try to pull you down to the floor so they stand taller than you,
Exactly.
and people fall victim to that very easily. It's easy to
Easy.
fall into that trap, and so it piggybacks and echoes a lot of things that we talk about on this program.
Exactly.
Finding yourself, staying true to yourself. Authenticity intimidates people.
Of course it does, man. It makes people realize that, you can't be controlled. A lot of people want control, bro. So it's like whenever you have the power to be like, you know what, I don't need you. I don't care about your opinions. That makes you a threat. That makes you know, that makes people look at you in the image of who you think you are. When the whole time they need to look at themselves and see what they're missing. I always see people as who they are, and not for who they want to be or who they trying to be. Because a lot of times people don't even know who they are until they by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
When you always around a group of individuals or whenever you always, listening to your parents or telling you who you're not, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to think that's you.
Mm-hmm.
When the only person that can actually tell you who you are is you. If you don't give yourself enough time to stand in your own energy, how you going to become powerful? How you going to realize the things that you have to accomplish? That's the reason why when I speak to my people, I always tell them, believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
With faith, you are invincible. But at the end of the day, you have to see you for who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stress that enough, bro, because a lot of people fall victim to what other people think about them.
They got too much stock in that.
Yes, bro.
They're investing too much.
Being a people pleaser.
Yeah, of course.
Or a
And that's
chameleon.
something I talk about a lot too, being a people pleaser, man.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna make people happy just by doing what they want you to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when they don't have control over your life, that's when you become a problem. And it's like you got to realize that nothing's gonna get done unless you want to do it. Nothing is gonna get done unless you do it. You got to want to, man. I know it's easier said than done, but at the end of the day, it's all about believing in you, because nobody's going to believe in you the way that you believe in you. I don't care how many family members you have. I don't care how many friends you have. At the end of the day, you always find yourself alone whenever you need help. You can help everybody else, but as soon as you need help, all you hear is crickets.
Yep.
You don't see that support system that you need. Let yourself get in a bind. Let you lose your car. Let you go to jail or maybe lose your house. That's what's going to show actually who's there for you. And a lot of times there's nobody, not even family, not friends, not no one. And that's when you find yourself with you again. That's why I always speak about making sure you good for once.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to do the hard work. You got to go through the shadow work. You got to, put yourself in a position where things are going to work out for you. You got to build this solid foundation. That I'm not saying be selfish. I'm saying put yourself first for once.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't cut corners
At all.
while you're doing it. And that's like this quote's been like ringing in my head the last week, but how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yes.
So it's like if I'm willing to like cut a corner like if I'm cleaning my kitchen, for example, and I'm willing to just like not clean the stove top all the way, and I like don't let it shine, like it like has that layer of grease on it,
Yeah,
and I just leave it like that. Like that's a good analogy that if I'm gonna allow everything to not shine, if I'm not gonna allow my stovetop to shine, then I'm more than likely not gonna allow anything in my life to shine.
exactly.
And so it's really interesting because like yes, how you do one thing is how you do everything, but you can change how you do one thing. You don't have to do one thing the same way your whole life.
Exactly.
And I'd mentioned this to you in your unit when we met, about how I overcame opiates and
Yeah.
like how I was addicted to painkillers, and it was like a 17-year long journey. It took me 5 years to get off of pills after I finally admitted that I was addicted.
Yeah.
Like I had to admit, and then it took me 5 years to get off of it.
Yeah.
And fundamentally, who I am today, 4 years, like 4.5 years sober off that, and I'm celebrating every single day. Trust me.
Hmm.
And
You should.
I fundamentally changed though.
Yeah.
Like I changed who I was. I changed how I did one thing, and it changed everything.
Yes.
And it was that consistency though. Like that 5 years of getting off, like I was still fucking up, and I would go find a hook, and I would disappoint myself, and like repeat and rinse and repeat for 5 years
Hmm.
until like I actually disappointed myself enough to where I like had enough. And then the high that I was chasing was no longer worth the disappointment that I was feeding myself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the whole point that I'm trying to get through there is like I picture myself as Arthur version 8.0.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's been like 8 different versions of myself that's
Yeah.
existed on this planet. And so we don't have to be the same person our
At
whole
all.
life,
At
and
all.
we can mold and change, and we can create who we want to be.
Exactly.
But we do have to put down the phones. We have to get alone in our head.
Yes.
We have to hear how we think. We have to be aware of what we think, what we tell ourselves, because what we tell ourselves about ourselves is actually what's true to us.
Yeah. What you
right?
speak is what you become. And that's the reason why I always say speak life over your life, bro. And I want to say congratulations on just you overcoming that, because a lot of
Thank
people
you.
that are addicted to drugs or, pills or even alcohol, I know that's a struggle, and for you to be able to sit here and be able to talk about that now, that is a divine blessing, bro, because
my
you
God.
don't realize how many lives you are changing. You are giving people inspiration. That's number one, and just like myself, I used to smoke a lot of weed. I used to, drink and stuff like that. And of course, that was hard to get off of. But sometimes you got to go through it to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people all the time, don't think that you are so perfect where you are so hard on yourself if you backslide. That's what makes the journey more better, because you have to have a testimony in order to, get to that next level. And also you got to celebrate the small wins.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people all the time, whether you smoke cigarettes, whether you drink, or, whether you smoke weed or even on any hard drugs, you can smoke 5 blunts a day. If you only smoke 1 blunt a day, congratulations. Celebrate that small, that small accomplishment. If you drinking a whole bottle of liquor or a 6-pack of beer and you only drink 1 shot a day, or you drink 1 beer a day, that is an accomplishment,
Mm-hmm.
because people don't realize how hard that is to actually be able to get over that. And also, you didn't even have to go to rehab,
I had friends though.
Yes.
I did have a really good friend group,
That's
so
good.
I was talking about it. I had people hold me accountable, and I agree with what you're saying here too. Like that whole starting over from square one
Yes.
mentality. Get that out of
Yeah,
here.
bro.
Like that mentality is bullshit. You're still making progress if you're
Yes.
trying, and sometimes trying doesn't look as good as yesterday. Sometimes it looks better than yesterday.
Celebrate the small wins, man.
Mhm.
And also, like I was speaking about rehab, a lot of people, they don't have the power to do it on their own. You feel what I'm saying? So for somebody that don't have to go to rehab, or somebody, even if you went to rehab, congratulations, I want you to get help.
Yeah.
But people don't realize how powerful you are when you can do it on your own. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say celebrate the small wins, man. It's all about believing in yourself. It's going to be hard. Nobody's perfect, bro. But
Well,
at the
it's
end of
like
the day,
pick your hard.
exactly.
It's hard to be addicted and fiending like looking for the hook for today too.
Exactly.
Like that's just as difficult.
Yeah, you get
It's
sucked into
very
it.
difficult.
You're chasing the dragon. It's an easy, comfortable lifestyle, and that becomes the norm. And so, kind of what we're saying, your body believes what you tell it. And
Exactly.
I'm a strong believer in affirmation. And for me, when I was getting off alcohol, my affirmation was I'm alcohol free, and I would just say that over and over and over again.
Yes.
And then you start to believe it. It starts to become, so that's one piece that worked for me. Everyone has a different approach. Like you said, rehabs for some, a friend group, an AA meeting, whatever that may look like. But when you got off pills, when I got off booze, we started loving ourselves.
Yes, definitely.
Right. That was kind of one of the things I learned about it. Because you're just running away from it. You're not being your authentic self. You're covering it up with a substance. And we live in a world that is dopamine filled.
Yes,
no
man.
question.
Yes.
Outside of the drugs and alcohol, there's the sex, there's the porn, there's the sugar. There's so much dopamine coming at us all the time. We talk about that a lot. And people are just inundated with dopamine. It's tough to be alone in your thoughts.
And that's another thing too. Like you can't be afraid to do that shadow work. And that's the whole point of being alone, because you have to get through it to get out of it. I'm going to keep saying it because a lot of people are afraid to look at themselves. They are afraid to look at themselves in the mirror and be like, look, I need help.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time where you got to do the hard things. You got to want to do the hard things. It's easy to just go out here and be like, you know what, I can't do it no more. Just give me a blunt.
Yep.
Just give me a drink. Just give me a pill, but after you get high, or after you get drunk, or after you get, that fix that you need, the problem's still going to be there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's still going to be there tomorrow. So
True.
you got to be willing to do what's hard in order to get through the tough battles, man.
So what are some things that keep you focused and aware of like your circumstances? Because I still smoke weed and like
nothing wrong with it.
I might take some time off of booze, but I kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself an alcoholic, but I'm still using it. And like after eliminating one addiction, like it's easier for other ones to creep in because you're like kind of doing the swing with it.
Of course.
So what would you say are like some of the things that shine most bright to you with your clarity, like that keeps you wanting to stay clear?
To be honest, main thing is number one thing is affirmations, like you were speaking earlier. When I get up, I tell myself I'm healthy. I tell myself, I'm not addicted. Even though I haven't smoked or drank in a long time, you know what I'm saying? I still tell myself these things because when you hear it, it can just put some of your subconscious to want to, stay away from it. Also exercise, bro. Like I get up and I'm going to just say 6 a.m. I work out to about 7, take me a shower, get ready to go to my office. It's all about, implementing something to get your mind off of it. When I first stopped smoking, of course it was hard the first week. Oh, yeah. The first week, it was terrible. I was like, oh my goodness, man, like, can I do this? But I knew that I had to stay on the goal. And once I stopped smoking, it made me realize like, wow, my vision is clearer. Once I stopped drinking, my vision was clearer. You know what I'm saying? The next thing you know, it started making me want to accomplish more other things. Like I don't eat pork, beef, I don't eat chicken, turkey. I eat salmon, I eat fish and stuff like that. But it made me want to get rid of the toxins, especially when you start doing the research on certain foods or, how things are in society. I'm not saying you guys got to be like that. I'm just saying in general, it just made me want to be a better person. It made me want to look at myself more. Okay, if I can stop this, what else can I stop?
Yeah.
What
like
else
how
can
high
I
can I like
exactly.
And it's actually it's awesome to hear. I love these kind of stories and it
took me a while though. It took me a while.
Yeah, it takes a while. It takes
It didn't
time.
happen overnight.
That everyday consistency, but it just I mean, looking back, like if I ever have a bad day, all I got to do is think about when my credit was tanked and cars were repoed and I had $100 in my pocket and I was willing, that was only $100 I'd have for a week.
And I'll spend it all on drugs.
And I would be willing to go get drugs instead of like groceries.
Oh yeah.
So it's like on my worst days, all I have to do is revisit that. And it's crazy because like I was mentioning, like it's like two different lives.
Yeah.
And really it just makes me smile, like to have made it where I'm at now. Like I could have tears of joy.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's like, whew, like we made it through that. But then it's like, what else is there? Like, and because once you start succeeding, it becomes regular. And then at some point, like when something becomes normal,
Yeah.
then like what are you pushing towards? So it's like you keep hitting these new levels,
Yeah, definitely.
and like pulling some more out of you. So it's interesting to hear like eliminating beef and
Yeah,
like all this other stuff.
everything, bro. Like I haven't ate beef or pork. I'm gonna just say since 2019.
Oh wow.
So I just stopped. Like I'm gonna just say it's been a couple months now.
Mhm.
As far as like not eating chicken and turkey. You know, I did that on my own free will. Of course, everything you do on your own free will.
Mhm.
But I just wanted to see, you know, because I'm more thinking about the health side of things, you know, more fruits, more vegetables, you know, also, you know, especially when you're exercising, you want to get the proper protein. And a lot of times you don't lose the proper weight because of the foods or because you're not dieting properly. And I'm not saying that like it's easy. You know, I'm saying it because sometimes you got to go through a challenge.
Yeah.
And it took me a while, bro. You know, once I got off the, you know, drinking the wine or the champagne and smoking the weed, it made me want to better my life in other different areas. And that's how you looking at yourself doing that shadow work I was speaking about.
Mhm.
Because I didn't even know that I could become this powerful at that time because I was drowning myself in my sorrows with the booze or with, you know, the weed or, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever I was doing, even the food, because food is addictive as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times people just eat just because they depressed and
Yep.
Or like bored or
yes,
something.
especially being bored,
Yeah.
you know, and that's when I picked up exercising. I'm
That's
like,
good.
well, you know, I'm bored right now. Why don't just go ahead and just hit the weight bench or, you know, do me some sit-ups, some push-ups.
Get that
You
natural
know,
dopamine.
yes. And it's very important.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard, but it's very important. That's the whole point of pushing yourself, you
Yeah.
know?
So with this new kind of diet routine that you found, cutting out these meats and chicken and pork and all that, what was the biggest thing you noticed?
My weight.
The weight?
Yeah, the weight. Also feeling lighter.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like when you eat a lot of low vibrational foods, I would say, you know, they the foods that you eat that you, all of a sudden you about to fall asleep.
Mm.
Like if you eat some food
Guilty.
and you about to fall asleep, that is low vibrational.
Need a nap
Yeah.
after those Doritos.
The itis, you
Gar-
know?
Garbage food.
You feel me? So
Yeah.
that's one thing I instantly noticed. Once I stopped eating, you know, some of the meats and even the snacks too, the
Yeah.
sugar.
The junk.
Yeah.
You know, the junk food, it made me have more energy. That's what made me get to the natural fruits. Like, you know, I like pineapple. I like,
Mhm.
you know, apples, of course, grapes, strawberries. You know, I'm just starting to get in tune with the watermelon for real.
Mhm.
But a lot of these foods are definitely full with natural sugars. So the same thing you want to get the candy, you can just eat something that's healthy to help you get to, you know, basically to feed that tapeworm, because that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a parasite.
Yeah.
A parasite that's needing something when you can actually take something that's actually designed for it, the natural sugars, to feed it, you know? And it helped me push myself off of I'm gonna keep it real, like I'm amazed with myself when I look at
Well,
like, damn, you know,
congratulations, because
I've stopped
you
all of
look
these
healthy.
things.
Yeah.
You got good energy.
Thank you.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's paying off.
Mental
Definitely
clarity.
is, man. And I've seen so much, especially with the weight.
Yeah.
I used to be 260 pounds. I'm down to like 215 now,
Nice.
you know, and I'm cutting it up. I'm looking better, skin clearer, like everything that I have implemented, it goes to show how much I've overcome my old life.
People who
You know?
haven't seen you in a couple years are
Man.
like, hey, what's going on with YB? Like,
Yeah.
you're looking good.
They like, man, good gracious, bro, you done changed a lot. And that makes me feel good because it makes me realize that I've been doing something right. Like I said, it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's definitely, it was hard, especially when it came down to the certain foods. Like all I ate was chicken and seafood.
And
Chicken,
chicken
turkey,
would
and
make you
seafood.
tired too. Like,
Yes, if
some-
you eat too much of it, like
yeah.
say man, you get some chicken wings, or you know, you might get it baked or fried or however you eat.
Uh-huh.
After you eat like a 8-piece, a 8-piece chicken wing or something like that,
Yeah.
you're gonna want to lay back, you know.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, why am I so tired all of a sudden?
Mhm.
You know, why don't I want to do anything? But then once I said, you know what, I'm just gonna eat seafood. I only eat that on the weekends. Like during the week, I'm like vegan. You know,
Okay.
during the week I just eat my vegetables, my fruit, and I just like started implementing this,
Yeah.
you know, recently.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like 2
you know,
months.
it's been like about 2 months.
Okay.
So I'm talking about like being vegan for just to the weekend. You know, I still eat my salmon, you know, my seafood and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I said, you know what? I'm only gonna do it on the weekend. and that works for me because it pushed me to be like, all right, well, can I stop eating meat altogether? Or can I just, eat more vegetables, eat more fruits, it's kind of like I'm forcing myself to do it.
And you feel like that like made you more regular too?
Yes, it definitely helped me with my diet, but also it made me I can see my physique better. Because a lot of times people don't lose weight because of what they're eating. Anything too much of anything. I don't care if you're eating fruits or vegetables.
Right.
If you are eating too much of it, it still can help. It still can make you bloated, or it can make you, still be overweight. It doesn't matter what you eat. Anything you eat too much of, it's not good.
Yeah.
But when you know how to, put it in certain increments, you know what I'm saying? I only eat 2 times a day. And what I mean by that, it's only one full meal. That's nighttime. And that's always before 7 p.m. I don't never eat after 7. I don't care, what it is, because you have to give your body enough time to digest properly. A lot of people don't even know that. People eating at 9, 10 o'clock, and they like, man, why I'm still, still got this weight on me? Because you're eating at the wrong time. You have to give your body enough time to digest properly.
Yeah, intermittent fasting.
Definitely. And of course, intermittent fasting as well too.
Yeah.
Whether it's a water fast, whether it's a fruit fast, or whether it's just a dry fast. And that's something that I've pushed myself to do. I'm still working on that too. But nobody's perfect, bro.
Constant work.
Yes, it's always constant work. And that's why I say when you get off the drugs, when you get off the booze, you're always going to find yourself to want to do something more.
Yeah.
That's why I say, well, if I can stop doing this, let me cut out this. Let me try this. Let me try that. And then once you becoming the superhero. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like, wow, I never thought I could transform like this.
It's true.
But it's only because you believe in yourself.
Yeah, and you're treating your body right.
Definitely.
That's the big thing. We talk about biohacking a lot on this show,
Yes.
which is kind of an interesting topic that we learned about with the biohack babes. They were on our program a couple years ago because I'm not a big pharma guy. I'm very anti-pharmaceuticals. I think there's a lot of natural remedies that can combat a lot of stuff for people, high cholesterol, blood pressure. A lot of this is because of the salt intake and a lot of this garbage foods that we just got done talking about. You start working in, like you said, fruits and vegetables, apple cider vinegar, beetroot extract, garlic. All of a sudden, biohacking, which is really just eating right.
Yeah.
And people are all of a sudden healthy again and getting off of these pharmaceuticals.
Definitely, man. And that's something that I haven't took in a while either. I haven't took medicine. I'm going to keep it real since, I don't know, like I'm talking about actual pharmaceutical medicines. Yeah. It's been like, I'm just say 2018.
Yeah.
I haven't been sick in like, I'm talking about literally.
I was about to ask, when's the
it's
last
been like
time?
3 years.
Me too. Same.
It's been like 3 years, bro.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm talking about I don't even get a cough. I don't get, nothing. I barely get headaches. And that's only because of my intuition, or I need to meditate, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, or I'm probably around some bad energy or something like that. Me being a natural empath, I feel energies. So it's like sometimes I might feel someone else's energy. That's the only time I really get headaches or something like that. But when it comes down to like being sick or, needing some type of medicine, I haven't been sick. I'm talking about literally with a cough in like 3 years, bro.
I'm right there with you. Yeah.
And it feels good, bro. It's always a natural remedy. I always recommend sea moss to a lot of people too, because it has a lot of enzymes that we are missing. Sea moss.
Oh yeah.
It's very good for the blood, the skin. It helps with everything, bro. And a lot of people don't even, they sleep on it. I try to implement my sea moss.
I heard of peat moss, like for your yard.
Peat moss is for like,
that's like yard.
Yeah.
But sea moss is
moss I've never heard of.
Yeah.
It's like a sea.
Yeah, it comes from the ocean.
Yeah.
It comes from the ocean. Okay. It kind of remind you of like I'm just say I don't want to say seaweed, but the color of coil.
Yeah.
But it's like thinner.
Okay.
And it comes from the bottom of the ocean, and it has like 99.9 of the enzyme that you need for your body. And I implement that in, I ain't gonna say my daily routine. I at least take it twice a week.
Okay.
I'll probably make a smoothie with it, or, I might, turn it into some powder or something like that and sprinkle it on my food or something like that. But it definitely helps you with your digestive system, your blood. If you got high blood pressure, it helps heal all types of, things that you're battling with, certain types of diseases, all of these things, man. Like, there's a lot of natural remedies out there that are hidden.
It's true.
Because they want you to go to Big Pharma. They want you to go to with Walgreens or, Walmart, or they want you to go to these things to get these pills that's man-made, and it's only making you sicker.
It's so true. My mother's a perfect example. She was having an issue and they wanted to get her on all this stuff. She went to the old castor oil, old medicine, oil from the castor plant, and it works like a charm. It works better than any pharmaceutical she's ever been given. She does it daily, and the doctor's like, well, we don't recommend it because they want to steer you towards their propagandized big pharma stuff. We're on YouTube here, so I got to be careful with what I say, because it starts to ruffle feathers. I'm not a medical expert. These are just my opinions.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've seen it. Like, there is plenty of remedies out there. Ashwagandha root, turmeric, the
come on
benefits, all this good stuff.
Yes, man.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I have a friend, and she put me on to hibiscus tea. That helps you with your kidneys, all of that, man. Like, it's a great, like, I'm into my teas now, like, not the tea bags. I'm talking about making my own tea.
Oh, okay.
So
you're like going to like the herbs specialist store and like you steep it yourself.
Yes, man.
That
all
sounds
of that,
fun
bro.
though.
It is fun.
It
is fun. And it's and it's meditative as well too. Like, because I'm actually enjoying myself making my drink. Not just boiling the tea bag. I'm actually putting it, boiling it. I'm taking my time with it. I'm putting my energy into it. And I always feel like anything you put your energy into is definitely going to help you, with your energy. You know what I mean? Like, it's very important to do things for yourself.
I'm just picturing you like having a great evening making tea now.
Man, bro, making
like
tea.
in the comfiest clothes. Like,
come on now. Definitely, bro.
That's a good night.
Definitely.
That is.
Yeah. I do a lot of juicing as well. Like I said, I do the tea. I also drink a lot of smoothies as well too. So I try to do these things like during the week. And I call it a cheat day. I do my salmon or my seafood on the weekends, and I just, I don't eat to get full, bro. I eat to live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a big difference.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Some people live to eat.
Right.
I eat to live, though. And you got to realize sometimes you don't even need all that stuff. You just want it because you're bored, or you want it because
guilty.
Addicted.
We all have been there, bro.
Yeah.
But at the times you got to realize, like, it's not always good to be eating all the time, because your digestive system, it has to have it has to digest a certain way to actually get it to digest properly.
Yeah.
That's why I was speaking about I don't eat after 7. Because you got to give your digestive system enough time to, function right, to, let all the acids and, get everything to be all together so it can come out properly, and that's another reason why I stopped eating. Like, when I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I never ate a steak before.
Well, yeah.
But it's been years. But the real reason why I really stopped eating beef and, pork and stuff like that, because I realized how long it stays in your digestive system. Weeks. Like, if you eat a steak, why you think the steak is so chewy all the time? So just imagine what it's doing in your inside. It be in your system for 2 weeks, bro. You like, damn, man, I'm constipated. But at the same time, it's because you ate that $100 steak. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I think about stuff like that.
So have you ever heard about this one? My wife is super holistic, and we're very aligned with all this type of realm of thought. And she came across an article that was saying that you can actually get all the sustainable energy that you need from the sun and drinking water.
Yes.
Like people who are
Essential.
truly tapped in to like their body and everything, they don't even need to really eat food at all.
Exactly, bro.
Have you heard? Have you
Yeah,
heard
I
about
have. So the sun is the source. The sun is the source of energy. Everything is ran by frequencies and vibrations. So that's the whole thing of fasting. We really don't supposed to eat meat. We don't even have the proper teeth for that. Whoever thought about cooking it, that was just a way of, trying to, make something to steer people to be obese, because we are frugivores. If you look at, we don't have the canine teeth like the lions. They eat meat. They not over there cooking it on no stove. They don't got no stove, bro. They go over there and hunt, bite, kill, eat. But we gotta slice it. The same thing they eating. Slice it in half, because we don't really have the teeth to sustain it, and we gotta also cook it. And that right there kind of stuck in my mind as well. It's like, okay, well, if we got to do all these things, why are we doing it in the first place? The Most High say we're supposed to eat the things that is given to us. So as far as fruits, You know, even though we don't see the fruit trees anymore, you know, they planting so many male trees, so it can't bear fruit. They want you to go to the store, but that's a different story. But you're supposed to eat the fruits that fall off the tree. You're supposed to eat the right vegetables. See what I'm saying? That's the reason why they're able to grow. You know, the Most High gave us everything we need on this physical plane. We don't have to go hunt anything. Everything you can just if you know what you're doing, you can just grow your food in your backyard. You know, but instead we like, well, we just gonna kill this and eat this.
And hit the easy button.
And next thing you know, now you're sick. You know, now you need medical attention, or now you start to become obese because we don't supposed to be eating these things from the beginning.
Well, and then the portions too.
Portions are too big. But there's a lot of things that check out, like colitis and all the, celiac disease and all diabetes. Huge uptick in the last 20, 30 years. That has to be directly correlated to the foods. And we look at food around the world and other parts of the world and how they eat and the ingredients that are in theirs versus ours. Vastly different. And that's concerning.
Vastly different, man.
Yeah, it's concerning.
It is. See, we are the only country that's actually like this.
Right.
Like, like a lot of people haven't been out of the country, so all they know is this. But if you do your research, this country is the only country that does certain things. Like one thing that kind of blew my mind was like just giving you like some little things that I've researched on. Like we probably like one of the only countries that actually has like the taxes on the tags. Like when you go to certain places, you just buy it. Ain't no $7.99. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no $8.99. Some places, some countries think it's disrespectful to ask for a doggy bag. And speaking of a doggy bag, that's just your leftovers. You're supposed to eat there and be gone. A lot of times you don't even supposed to put ice in water. But we use ice every day. A lot of stuff that we do here is not even allowed in certain other places. They look at you like, what are you doing? We eat fruit from the fruit. We don't gotta do all this extra stuff. We don't gotta, put water in fruit. But we do things to try to stretch things. We do things. It's all a sense of control, bro. Once we get you into this program of doing it like this, then now we know that you're gonna fall for a lot of other things that we are trying to implement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I first found out about paying for bags, that blew my mind, bro. Like where I'm from, VA to be exact, from Virginia, I've never paid for no bag at all. Yeah. But now it seems like it's going all over where you got to pay for bag. I promise you, ain't no other country you paying for no bag.
Well, and like tipping too, in other countries, they're like, why are you tipping
exactly
on top? Like
some people
paid a good.
Some people look at it as disrespectful.
Right.
They do.
But they making a lot of stuff over here like it's the right thing to do. We just being, humanitarian. No, that's disrespectful. You don't suppose to, even I want to show you some love and give you a tip, but it's like now here you got people are expecting it. You can't go to no restaurant without somebody looking at you. Like, what you gonna do for me?
When they put the tip machine at the Starbucks,
come on, man.
Oh yeah. The first time I saw that, I was like, "What is this? An extra $1 or $2 for this?" Like, and the companies are keeping this money, right?
They are.
Like, and same when any like Walmart or any like is asking, "Do you want to round up to donate?"
Of course,
like,
do that a lot.
But I don't do that at those places because they take that donation that I give and they use it as their tax write-off for the company.
Of course.
And if I really wanted to donate, then I should just, find my own cause, do it myself, and write it off on my taxes.
Exactly, bro.
So it is crazy because no one really understands until your eyes fully become open that like we're indoctrinated since we're kids,
propagandized.
And we're just like it's normal, so we don't have an alternative way of thinking or looking at life. And then when you start looking at things, doing things different, like quitting alcohol, for example, like a lot of people might be like, well, why don't you drink? Do you have a problem? Like, yo, you're not fun.
Doesn't fit the norm.
Yeah. So it's like, and then
I hear that a lot, man.
Yeah.
They be like, bro, you a square now. I'm like, well, because it's like, I'm doing this for me because I want to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to smoke because I don't want to smoke. It blocks your intuition. I don't want to drink because when you drinking this for, certain individuals, it just distorts your energy. And I want to make sure that I'm always in the right capacity to see things as what it is and not for what people are trying to make it out to be. And that's why I feel like that's wrong, in society, because a lot of people are so distracted.
Mm-hmm.
They are so distracted with their phone. They are so distracted with drugs and alcohol. They are so distracted where they are missing the world. You are
So
missing
true.
what's going on in front of your face.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's looking at the presidency. Everybody is looking at the weather and all these things. And the whole time, the things that's right in front of your face is the most important.
You're not even seeing it.
You're not even seeing it for real. You're worrying about the wars. You're worrying about all these things. And 9 times out of 10, it's not even going to affect you. But you are living in fear, though.
Yeah.
And
that is the energy.
It makes them profitable because now they can sell to these people.
Definitely.
Right. We've got a division here. We're going to sell. We're going to capitalize on it, make money. That's really what a lot of this comes down to.
Yes.
Is profits.
Definitely does, bro.
Especially with the food industry.
Man.
I mean, there's people trying to do it the right way that are still scamming people.
Of course.
I've seen it across the organic market. A lot of people call their products free range, organic, whatever it is, and it's not.
And it's not at all.
So everywhere you look, there's going to be some corruption.
Yeah.
So I guess being educated, making your own decisions is the best thing to do, and not just taking things at face value.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people just believe what's ever on the news or, take this shot or whatever.
Yeah,
this new virus is out.
Yeah, man.
Get that out of here.
That is crazy, bro. Especially when we're talking about that, man. It's like I'm not going to sit here and say that people who've taken it, they was wrong, because a lot of them, they felt like they didn't have no choice.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
But the real ones know that all this was propaganda. If you look it up, we're not even going to say the name, but if you look it up, it is patent.
Right.
How you going to patent something that's designed to harm us that we can't see?
It's an immediate business.
You feel what I'm saying? All of it is a business.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
And a lot of people that live in fear, they're going to feel like they don't have no choice.
These are the people I'm talking about. These are the people I get sold to.
Yeah,
they just soak it up. Oh, let me get the next one. Let me get the next one. I want to be healthy. I'm trying to do the right thing here.
Well, yeah, and then when you do something alternative that doesn't fit that, then you get ostracized.
Well, yeah, then I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I've gotten that.
I've been called that so many times, bro.
That's a compliment at this point.
Yeah. But now they see that we're not crazy though.
Well, they don't want to admit it though either.
But they see it though. They see it.
Yeah, they see it. They do.
I remember when all that went down, and like all of a sudden it didn't matter whether you had it or you didn't take it, and then they're like, everybody's the same, no travel restrictions, none of this. I remember that day. And
I do too.
Everybody gave my boy Kevin here such a hard time for his stance.
I took a lot of shit up the throws here.
And
me too.
And that time when that happened, it was just like, because I went and got it, but I never went back for a secondary.
Yeah.
Because
you know better now, bro.
Yeah, and like
you know better.
I can't regret it. I feel thankful that I have my health.
Yeah, for sure.
But talking with Kev about that as it was going down, and like it really opened up my mind to the fact that what I think might actually be incorrect.
Yeah.
And like, just because I think something is a certain way doesn't necessarily make that true.
Yeah.
And so it's really important to have conversations.
Of course
and like,
it is.
Especially with conversations with people that you necessarily don't understand or agree with.
Yeah.
And having that conversation in a respectful way, because that's the only time you're actually going to learn. If you're always surrounding yourself in a room with people with the same thoughts and the same, and they're all like wanting to do the same Friday night clubbing and like this and that, it's like, then you're never going to grow. And it's interesting how getting uncomfortable makes you more comfortable.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. And just like you, bro, I had to take a stand.
Yeah.
I used to, when I was working a 9 to 5, thankful I haven't worked a 9 to 5 since 2022. Thank you, Most High. But when I was working a 9 to 5, it was like, that was one of the main things. You have to take it to work. And I stood up, man. I was like, I'm not, I didn't really like speak on it. I just didn't do it. I just try to dodge the people who was asking. They were like, did you get it with your papers? I'm just like, I got you, but at the end of the day, I knew that I wasn't going to do that because of what it was trying to do to us. See, a lot of this stuff is designed to make us sick.
Yeah.
Like it seems to be working well.
Same thing with like any type of, virus shot.
Yep.
They put it in you to see if you can fight it off. And I feel like that is the most scariest thing in the world, because for somebody who doesn't have it, now they have it, you know. And I stood up for that so much, and people gave me the shit too. They was like, you just don't want to cooperate. You just want to, you just want to be difficult. It's not the point about I want to be difficult. I want to be healthy.
Yep.
I love me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just going to sit here and listen to what you say because you feel like you above me because of this so-called job, this occupation. No. You know how many jobs out here that don't even care about that? But at the end of the day, all that pushed me is to be that entrepreneur like I am, like you guys are now.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I haven't worked a 9 to 5 since 2022.
It's a good feeling.
It's a great feeling, to have your own business, to do what you want, you know what I'm saying? To understand that what you stood for was for a greater cause.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of people don't really get that chance to become great or to become successful because of their taking a stand. So I just want to commend you, bro. I haven't really, seen a lot of people, especially that, come from that working background and be like, nah, I'm not doing it. Like, I know it was hard. I know you got the most, everybody was attacking you.
Oh yeah. It was a rough few years for sure.
I know it was, bro.
But
see, look at you now though.
Yeah. It was the right thing.
Out. Yeah.
It was the right thing. Enough people finally took a stand where I feel like in 2025, majority, 75% plus are probably like, okay, we got screwed.
Yeah. Everybody knows it now.
Yeah.
Everybody know it now, but that's the whole thing of taking that stand from the beginning. See, I already knew. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this because I already know in a few years it's just going to be up in the wind. Like, you don't have nobody talking about it no more.
Right. And people are sick that take
it,
dying.
Sick, bro. They took it. Now it's messed up something else. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you go into the hospital for one thing, the next thing you're leaving with something else wrong. Yeah, that's the whole. That is the market, though, bro.
It's unfortunate.
They want
medical is one of the highest
residual
in the world, bro.
It's true
in the world.
Yeah, big pharma, the medical industry, all of it trickles down. We want you back in here. You need to get this and that and the other thing. Take a little bit of this, and then we're going to come back in 6 months. It's a business.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
And they're in cahoots with the food industry.
Come on, that
they're in, and
absolutely.
Like they got it timed down perfectly to like where we eat all this shit our whole life, and then by the time we're finally old enough to save some money and get ready to retire, then we have to spend all that money on cancer treatment.
Yeah.
And
it's terrible.
like it happens every day to people.
Exactly.
And man, it kind of makes me scared because I still have some of these like bad eating habits and like eating Doritos occasionally, or like, and I know this food is shit. Like I do know this. And it's just like being aware of it and then also doing it is like, it's kind of like a slap to my own face, It's like,
well, I mean, like you said, you were on pills for 17 years and you knew it was going to take you 5-ish to get off of them. It's the same kind of thing. It was being aware of the problem, being aware of the situation. And I think the more awareness and the more conversations we have around this type of stuff, gives us an opportunity to digest it and make better decisions, and let the individual take control. Because, I mean, the other pushback I hear a lot is, well, Kev, it's expensive to eat that way. It's expensive to eat healthy and this and that. So trying to feed my kids, and I understand all that. It can be tough for some folks to eat the right way, and not buy the ramen and all the junk food that's $1.
Yeah, for sure.
I get it. There is arguments to be made there. But
yeah, some people, that's all they can afford. And that's where I come from. I come from the hood. So, we grew up, on food stamps, poverty, all that stuff. So, but now that I'm older, I have a choice. That's why I say education is everything. A lot of people, they don't understand that what they eating is detrimental to their health because that's all they know. And a lot of people don't want to learn. They just want to continue to just, keep going with the flow of what they know. And it's like, you got to make a change, man, But as far as the bad habits, I told you, we all gonna backslide, bro. So you got to realize that it's very important for you to have the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? As long as you know, eventually you're going to get off it. Eventually you're going to make better choices. It took, like I said, it took me a while to be in the position that I'm in now where I don't even crave these things anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to.
If you ate something like that, it would probably make you feel sick now.
Man, bro, I'm going to tell you something.
You get nauseous.
What happened to me, I think it was last year. I went to, I think it was Denny's or something like that. I forgot where it was. And no, I'm lying. It was Red Lobster.
Mm.
So I ended up going to Red Lobster, and they got like I think it's like a macaroni and cheese, or they got like a baked potato or something like that, where they cook it with the bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know this. So I remember I ate the macaroni and cheese, or it was a potato. I forgot which one it was. And after I ate it, I didn't see it, because if I was seen it, I would have said something.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, damn, it got it had a familiar taste. But I was like, well, I don't really see nothing on it where, I'm okay. After I ate it, as soon as I went home, I instantly started feeling hot.
Mm.
Instantly.
Wow.
I was like, man, what's wrong with me? Is my blood pressure high or something like that? Then I started throwing up. Trying to find out. Once when I called up there and I found out that they had cooked the macaroni and cheese or the potato with the bacon. That's how it comes.
All that
And
bacon
I was
grease.
like, wow, that's why. So the reason why I'm sharing that with you is once I stopped doing things for a while, anybody stopped doing things for a while, and all of a sudden you implement it again, you're going to have some type of withdrawal. It's going to have something that's going to, affect you.
It's true.
And I was like, that made me realize like, wow, it really made me sick. Like, I really don't supposed to be eating this stuff. And that's another reason why I really cook my own food a lot.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know these restaurants, if they cooking the chicken with the bacon, or they cooking the seafood with the chicken,
Or all the different like
whatever it
oils that
is,
they use, like all this.
seed oils.
You don't know what
Yeah.
it is. And
Right.
it's like, I'd rather just do it for myself so I know what I'm eating. Because I don't want to I don't like feeling sick, bro. Like, I was in the bed that whole day.
It's crazy.
I was like, just for me eating some macaroni and cheese or
Cooked in the bacon. And people will wake up on their Sundays and be like, I'm
eat
making
bacon.
I'm making
the bacon.
Yeah, I'm making the
Guilty.
bacon. Yeah,
I love bacon.
for real.
No, but
Wow.
next time I eat a meal and like I felt like I need to take a little nap today after I did some snacking, and it was Doritos with some pico. But
Oh,
like
okay.
next time I fall asleep after a meal, I'm gonna be thinking that's low
It
vibration.
is. It's a
Low
low
vibration.
vibrational food. Anything that you eat and you feel like you want to go to sleep,
Yeah.
that is a low vibrational food, bro. But if you eat something and you just get energy, like I said, fruits,
Mhm.
vegetables,
Now, are you eating like beans or like
Yeah.
tofu?
I don't
or
like
like-
tofu. I eat beans though. I eat like black beans, brown
Mhm.
beans, any type of beans. I eat rice, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Of course, like I said, my vegetables and stuff like that. Like, I always implement everything when I chop it up, like mushrooms.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm on to the lion's mane now too.
It's
I don't
good
know
stuff.
if you guys know what
Okay.
it is.
Yeah,
Love
that's a good
mushrooms.
mushroom.
Man, I love lion's mane, man.
It's
Like,
good for you.
Mhm.
if you fry it up, it kind of tastes like
It has like
chicken.
a meaty texture.
Yeah, definitely. It
Yeah.
tastes just like like chicken tenders.
Mm.
So I fry mines up into it like the same way you would do chicken, with the flour and stuff like that, and I eat it just like that, and it's very, very good, and I know that it's healthy. It's kind of like the substitute. Like, all you got to do is have a substitute for meat,
It's true.
basically.
And there's a lot of alternatives, like
Yes,
even
a
jerky.
lot,
They have
a lot.
mushroom jerky that I eat. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called like
Mhm.
Pan's mushroom jerky. It's
Oh, I've
fantastic.
never heard of that.
Teriyaki. It's like a Mark Cuban company, and it's delicious.
It's mushrooms.
It's all mushrooms, oyster mushrooms.
Where you get this from?
I think King Super sells it. It's called Pan's, P-A-N-S.
Oh, okay.
Mushroom jerky. It's delicious.
Oh,
I
okay.
had a piece of
Okay.
that. It was good.
Yeah, you've tried it.
It was good. No, but like while you're saying this, I'm like thinking about my food experiences. And there's definitely been times where I will eat like a salmon with the broccoli and it's like a nice healthy meal.
Mhm.
And then I will have this remarkable energy after that meal to like where it almost feels like I took an Adderall or something.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I'm all like, ooh, like I'm feeling really good off that. And it's crazy to like just be thinking about it and talking about it like this because I like to be open and I'm not ashamed of anything. And I like to talk about where it's like, oh, well, maybe I can improve here. Like I am eating not the best, or like, I am having some drinks
Yeah.
and here and there. Because if I could be accountable and be honest and upfront and no shame in telling the truth, hopefully that could help somebody else. But also, most importantly, like I need to be real to myself and authentic to myself. Because when I was an addict, I was lying to myself. I was, lying to other people. And so like there's this level of being honest with ourselves that is so important, and listening to your intuition.
Yes.
It
Very important.
it knows. And like it how's this? It goes, your intuition will like whisper at you until it's screaming.
Yeah.
Like, so basically it's super subtle until it's too late.
Yeah.
And so like you have to keep your ears open and like really try to listen. And this is like almost like a screaming type of thing, like thinking about like the type of food that I've been eating and the like 5-10 pounds that I've been holding on to or whatever it is. It's interesting to be talking about this.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too, like more like the food too, but at the same time, even with like certain drugs, like with me, I used to smoke so much weed, bro. Like it was smoke 5 blunts a day, bro. Like it was nothing to smoke 5 blunts a day. But I remember one time where I kept telling myself, you need to stop smoking. You need to stop smoking. I kept hearing that.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, once I stopped, like I slowed down, went from like 5 blunts a day to 2 blunts, then I went to 1 blunt. The next thing you know, it was to a time where I smoked a blunt and I got paranoid. Like I've never got paranoid on weed ever in my life. But this particular time, I knew that, now it's reversing because I need to stop. Like it made me look at it like I don't want to do this no more.
How old were you when that happened? Like if that
when it reversed?
Like, when you started to realize that.
This happened probably like I'm gonna say like it's been like 2 years.
Okay.
So when that happened, it just made me be like, this is the last straw.
Yeah.
Because I felt out of place. I've never felt out of place my whole life, bro. My birthday on 4/20, man.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I grew up smoking, doing all these things, and it's like all of a sudden I get paranoid. And what's crazy was I was smoking the same stuff I've been smoking the whole time. So it was like that was bigger than just.
It's like something fundamentally changed.
Something just clicked. Yeah. Like, okay, you got to stop now.
Happened to me with booze. My body was like, we can't do it.
Yeah, you can't do it no more. That's when that calling is there. You got to answer the call, bro.
It's amazing. Your body will tell you what it needs.
Definitely.
If you're in tune.
Definitely.
And it can be overwhelming, I think, too, because like we cover a lot of, very motivating topics of eating right and getting off drugs, doing all these things. And to your point, I think taking the little victories of going from 5 blunts to 2 to 1, those are small victories.
Definitely.
You're aware of it and you're starting to make small changes. You can't do it all overnight.
No.
I mean, I'm being real. I couldn't do it overnight. There's no way. I had to land the plane and come in for a smooth landing. And so I guess that would be a big takeaway from me from this is just take those little victories.
Yeah, bro.
Take all the knowledge that there is. There's so much, that comes at us at all times. And, eat this is better for you and this and that and the other. And I think just the more research people can do on their own.
That's right.
And not taking things on your own and not taking things at face value, the better we all can be.
Yeah, because everybody's body is different.
Everybody,
what works for me might not work for you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was saying, like, whatever you guys eat, that's what you eat. Your body going to tell you eventually, okay, you need to stop this. I just put myself through a challenge because I wanted to do it. Like, it ain't like I had to stop eating it. I wanted to see how far I can go with it. And it's like, okay, now I'm into the position where I say, okay, I've done this. I've tried it. So even if I wanted to go back to chicken, it's nothing wrong with it because it ain't like you're doing something wrong. I put myself in this challenge because I wanted to see how far I can go and see how much it was going to change me. And it's like now I guess I want to say the only thing I'm addicted to is change. I want to see how better I can be. I want to see my health. Like when I was a kid, I had asthma. Like now it's like my breathing is, I don't even think about it. Just by me even saying it right now, it's like, wow, because I practice meditation. I do Tai Chi. And it's like, that helps me with my breathing. And it's like, wow, like everything that I was struggling with as a child is not a struggle anymore. That's why I was saying you can heal yourself. You definitely can heal yourself, bro. But you got to want to do it.
Yeah,
definitely. You got to want to do it.
I believe in that.
I've been listening to frequency music at night, like different frequencies for different things, skin healing, kind of meditative sleep stuff, and just anything like that I think you can be in tune and aware of. You're already consciously thinking about making improvements.
Yeah,
and I've noticed some differences there just with different frequencies.
Yeah.
Starting there. There's a lot of different things we can do to take control of our bodies, our minds.
Vibrational music is a must.
Yeah.
I always say that because frequency and vibrations is everything. Certain frequencies can actually heal your body.
Yep.
That's something that they don't want us to know, bro. That's why they implementing all this negative music, because that is a demonic frequency. That's why they making you remember all these choruses, like everything they keep chanting over and over and over and over. You can hate a song, but you be singing it though.
Yeah.
You're like, man, I don't like this song
because
like you heard it 1,000 times.
Yes.
Yeah. So all that is created by design, bro. And like me, I don't watch TV, bro. I'm always, making videos, or, I might be, I look at YouTube once in a while and stuff like that, but I don't watch the news. I don't really listen to music like that. Of course I got my nice songs I want to hear that get me uplifted. I still love my culture music and stuff like that. But when it comes down to like, okay, I want to be in that vibration, I'm gonna turn on some positive frequencies. I'm listening for, I listen to jazz. I listen to more jazz music than anything now.
Jazz is great.
Yeah, of course it is, because it's all instruments, and it's like it makes me want to get up and do something.
That's how I feel about bluegrass.
Yeah,
Just good old
bluegrass
string
is great.
instruments.
Yes,
It does,
it definitely.
Yeah, it makes you get up and want to move around. It's true, man. That's some powerful stuff.
Definitely, man.
It is. It is. I like kind of had a plan coming into this episode. It's interesting sometimes as a podcast host, like you have like an idea, so you know how the show is kind of gonna go.
Yeah,
and like I didn't even touch any of the questions.
I know, bro.
That I
even
those
are the best podcasts.
Yeah, because we just started getting into it, and
it's like we've been here before, man.
Yeah,
like
sure.
It's everything is authentic, bro, and that's how it's supposed to be. Like you don't really get this type of energy everywhere.
It's true.
A lot of people, they can't resonate. It's
true.
all about, like I was saying, being told what to do. Like I don't mind people asking questions, but at the end of the day, it's all about how do you feel. It's like we just having a conversation, bro, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like of course you want to get your insight. You you want to get your information, but these type of times right here is rare.
Yeah,
it's very rare, man. And these are the best ones, bro. I'm telling you,
it's
the best ones, man.
I agree. That's why I love doing this.
For sure.
It's a constant reminder of change, being better, stronger, healthier. Knowledge is power. All of it. It's always a reminder. I always feel like therapy when I leave here every week.
That's good. That's good. And you guys, what y'all doing, it's changing lives too, bro. Because you're giving people opportunities as well to, be seen and heard, but also, just being related to you guys' story. Because by them seeing where you at now, it's like, okay, I can do that too.
I was at 262.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that was my biggest weight.
Wow, that was my biggest weight too.
I got down to like 190 at my lowest, and now I've just been hovering around like 205.
Yeah.
But it's a crazy journey, and there's really truly no end to it. Like you have to continue every single day, and like once I learned that, that's what kept me going, because I was like, there's no stopping to this. And once you get it out of your head that you think you need a break, like. You can rest. Rest is important, but you have to stay consistent.
You got to be consistent. Consistency is the key, bro. And that's with anything, with exercise, with your line of work, with bettering yourself, being consistent. My motto is, as long as you're better than yesterday, that's all that matters, bro. Like I don't care about what happened last week. Long as you're better than yesterday, that's all that matters. And my thing is I just want to continue to keep being great. I want to continue to keep uplifting my people. We all got different purpose, but part of the same journey, bro. It's all about, just being a better version of you.
Well, I love this version of you.
Oh, thank you,
bro. This is the version I met, but
for sure.
Congratulations to you too, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
And like turning the corner and being authentic and keeping it real, and like you're giving some good compliments too. Like I can tell that you mean
for sure
what you say. It's not just there to fluff
that's
anything.
Because I've been there, bro. That's why I say it comes from an authentic place.
Yeah, you can tell.
I have been there, bro. Like and a lot of people, like, that's another thing too. That's another reason why I wanted to do this, is because I knew it was going to be authentic. I done did a lot of podcasts. I done been around, certain interviews where, they really can't relate to me because they think that they better than me, or they think they know me, or they think that they know where I come from. When you have no idea, like for you to be able to speak about your addictions, for you to be able to speak about what you were struggling with, me as well. We have been there, bro.
Yeah.
So that's why I say you're supposed to get your flowers as well. You have been working hard, bro. We all been working hard. Like that's why I say the smallest accomplishment needs to be celebrated.
It's true.
No matter what, bro, because we don't give ourselves enough credit. We always trying to be better than we actually are right now. Sometimes people are struggling. It's okay to say you're struggling. It's okay to ask for help, bro. You're not designed to do it by yourself. But the first step is awareness. to know that I need help, to know that I'm struggling. But if you constantly lying to yourself saying, oh, I ain't nothing wrong with me, well, you got another thing coming. You're going to keep going through these cycles. You're going to keep repeating the cycle instead of completing the cycle.
It's true.
You know, and it's very important for, you know, like you said, just to be consistent, bro. Like being better than yesterday, not being so hard on yourself. Like I was saying, when I used to smoke, when I used to drink, you know, I used to be hard on myself. Like, I know I'm supposed to stop. I know, but nobody's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, I'm never going to smoke again, or I don't know if I'm ever going to drink. Well, I'll probably never drink again, you know, but when it comes down to like just knowing, you just got to trust the process, bro. You know, you just got to understand that sometimes things going to happen. And when it happens, it's for a reason. It's just for you to be aware, you know, because life is about experiences. You know, you have to have a testimony. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a testimony to, you know, help people to be inspired to want to change their lives as well. You know, and you guys have been through it all. Y'all guys been through the ringer. You know, we all have different lifestyles, but you know what you've been through. You know what you've been through, bro. Just like I know what I've been through. And that's the way I do what I do. I don't want nobody to go through what I've been through. That's why I speak the way I speak. That's why I make the videos like I make the videos. It's not to impress no one.
Yeah.
It's to help someone
I can tell they help.
see clearly.
I can tell they help, man.
You're doing
For
great
sure.
work.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And we'll
Appreciate
be sure to, you know, try to push our viewers and listeners to support your work as well.
Thank you, man.
Just scroll down, click the show notes down below. We'll have everything right there. And
Yeah,
Vice
and
versa.
there's a bunch of ghost accounts
oh yeah,
for
yeah,
our boy
Man.
over here.
Oh,
So
my
I'm
goodness.
gonna share the direct
we
links
got to make a PSA on
Yeah.
to
that. Yeah.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, man. I'm,
Yeah, be
I'm
careful.
definitely dealing with a lot of scammers at this very moment. A lot of people
It's
on my social media platforms like Facebook, on TikTok, you know, that's where they're most attacking me at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every day I block at least 30 to 40 pages a day. I'm not saying a week, I said a day. And that's how I know that I'm being attacked. It's different from somebody trying to scam and get some money, because 9 times out of 10, a scammer will be like, man, I can't get no money from his page. He keep, you know, blocking me, or they keep doing these things. But these people don't care. You know, they just trying to destroy my image. They trying to destroy, you know, the things that I speak about, because I'm helping people raise their vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're doing something
It is
positive, the devil always gonna try to creep in. So
Yeah.
I always tell my people, just please be aware of the scammers. I would never reach out to you first. If somebody's doing that, please report and block these pages. You know, I appreciate you guys sharing the direct link to my profiles. And, you know, it's only up from here. I can't change what I can't control. All I can do is continue to just inform my viewers that it's not me. So anybody who follow me, anybody who know me, they know that I would never reach out to you first. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel bad that they are, you know, every time somebody follow me, they just start attacking them. I'm just like, I tell people all the time, like, man, be
You
careful.
warned me.
I did warn you.
You warned me.
I said, please be careful, bro, because they're gonna do it. And I know you probably didn't think that it was gonna happen like that.
I was like, why are they following me?
You see what I'm saying?
And if you have all these
great.
accounts, like it's a full-time job.
It is crazy, bro.
What they're
like,
doing.
So many people like, bro, is this you? This you? And I hear this every day, and it used to frustrate me. I was
Yeah.
like, man, why they keep doing this to me? But I realized that the more you raise your consciousness, the more you know, raise your spiritual awareness, the more you're gonna be spiritually attacked. And I just got to just keep moving, man. All this stuff is just designed to make me stop doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for anyone.
Part of the
Same
test.
thing with you. You know, if you guys are going through any struggles, or people doing things to you that's making you get out your element, it's only designed to make you stop being great. And
That's crazy.
to be honest, it just kind of like made me have a reverse effect. The more I see it, the more people reach out to me, the more videos I'm gonna post, the more time I'm gonna go live, because it makes me more hungry, because it's a reason why you're trying this hard to destroy me.
Yeah.
It's a reason. I don't even know these people, or even if I do know them, I know for a fact that I haven't done anything to deserve what they're doing to me.
Yeah.
You know, but I just leave it in the Most High's hands, bro, and I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Control what you can control.
You know, Ashe.
Well, and then you got our support.
Thank you, bro.
And 100%, we're gonna get you back on.
Oh yeah.
On the couch
Definitely.
again
Soon, man.
We'd like to do like annual guests.
For
Maybe
sure.
we could get you twice a year.
Man, that's good, bro.
Because we are close, and that's very nice. And it's great to share some time. We really appreciate you with your communication prior to coming in.
Thank you.
And like we had to move some stuff around. And,
Yeah.
You know, so we appreciate the communication.
Yeah, everything is in divine
and
timing,
your energy,
bro.
man.
Know that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everything is in divine timing, man. Sometimes things clash because it wasn't the right time. it had to be like this, because if it wasn't like this, it wouldn't have been this authentic, bro.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
This was a good convo.
Yes.
I'm glad we
great.
made it happen.
And I hope everyone's having a good time in the live.
Yes, man.
In the
They,
live,
live,
over
yeah, that's
they
right.
still here now. They still here.
Right on.
They still grinding with us, man.
Yeah. This
Hell
went
yeah.
well past what I thought it would. I looked down. I'm like, man, we've been in over an hour.
Yes.
So juicy episode. As we close on 300, the content just gets better.
Congratulations, bro. Congratulations on y'all success.
Thank you.
Wish you more wealth, good health. And like I always tell my people, man, you only can control what you control, and just stop being so hard on yourself, bro. Like, nobody's perfect.
Enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride, and just enjoy yourselves.
Yes. Most
You know,
important.
we only
first.
got one life, man.
Yep. The good and bad are consistent in life, and we have a choice which one we want to focus on. The good for me has always been there, but there was a blanket over my eyes for many, many years. So, you know, we got to pull the blankets back. And we're going to keep the episodes coming.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, we got Happy Friday America dropping.
That's
Okay.
right
Okay.
here on this YouTube channel. Mash the Gas Monday nights. Great content. Thanks for everyone's continued support. We're going to keep bringing great guests. Thanks again for being here and sharing some amazing knowledge with us.
Man, look, I appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all already know, man. And let's just keep winning, man. Just keep winning.
Go.
Let's go. Game
Keep
time.
Let's
man.
go.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Successful, man. Thank y'all so much.
Thank
Yes.
you. Be good to yourselves.
You deserve it.
Peace out.